I'm joined by Lenore Lampi.
Exactly.
But you prefer being called
Lenny.
Lenny. All right, Lenny.
Yes.
Lenny, you are a very special artist, and I've had an opportunity to hear of your history of getting into this, the story. But what's most unique is that you've brought the birch tree to a whole new level of art. I know you do other pieces, but
Yes.
this is what you've brought to our Montauk Fine Arts Fair.
Yes. Well, I think what it's about is not so much just the tree, but it is about perception. And what do we really see? Because I lived with birch trees my entire life. But yet, once I started this series and really started studying and observing, I began to see things I'd never seen before. And just it's about the physicality of it, what happens. It's a breakdown of nature, the natural breakdown, the natural physics of what goes on. And so one can get very philosophical about it, but it's fun and quirky, but also I tend to look at it in a serious manner in terms of just really studying and observing.
You mentioned the birch tree, and it's so true. Being philosophical, it gives us a letter. It gives us the birch paper that unravels from the birch, and you capture this in a ceramic, in a medium that is a hard medium. You capture the delicate beauty of birch and birch paper.
That's where I'm trying to go with it. I want the challenge of expressing something that's very fragile and delicate in clay. And it's a challenge, and I don't think I'd be with it if it weren't a challenge. And again, observation, I see more and more, and I'm stretching the limits of the porcelain. When it's greenware, it's extremely fragile. These furls that come off, if it's greenware, even touching that breaks it. I mean, it's so fragile before it's fired. And so I lose a lot of pieces because of that, but it's been a challenge, and the clay's been very good to me and has cooperated. So I've developed some new techniques, like incising the clay. So I throw a cylinder on the pottery wheel, and then I roll out clay, and I cut it and incise it and add on. This particular piece is a real honey. It's actually got honey glaze on the inside. It's stoneware, actually, the cylinder, with porcelain additions on it. Somebody said, well, you can't put porcelain on stoneware. Well, if somebody says you can't do it, don't believe them, because there's a way to accomplish that.
And you've taken this art, and even in the case of bowls that have the representation of the birch tree.
Well, it's fun to have some functional pieces, and these are functional with the addition of the sculptural texture to them.
When did you first begin utilizing birch as your...
Okay, I've been an artist all my life, and although about 5 or 6 years ago I moved to a community that was a very strong ceramic community. And so although I had been working with clay, I had a permanent exhibit at one of the community colleges where I was living, I focused more upon the functional aspect, and I rediscovered my skill with the pottery wheel. And I needed to have my own niche, and so it evolved from playing with the idea of a firewood form, like a firewood container, as almost a quirky joke on a vessel. And then I discovered porcelain clay, and I re-entered the skills of throwing on the pottery wheel. And so all of them evolved and changed. Actually, my unconscious mind kind of does the work for me. I mean, images pop up in my head where I need to go next. Here's a representative piece that I'm proud of. I've had the opportunity to fire in the wood kiln with Jim Dugan at the Baltimore Clay Works. And so I have moved into the opportunity to use slips and use the wood fire ash and also the salt, wood salt variation on my work. And this piece is wood salt fired. And so it's pretty special and also very serendipitous. It turned out very well when I was experimenting. But nothing's for sure in a wood salt fire, so you need to accept what happens, that happy accident. But this is certainly a happy accident for me.
Lenny, for the benefit of our viewers
Yes.
outside of our area to come and see you this weekend here at the Montauk Fine Arts Fair, you have a website, don't you?
I do have a website. It's birchpottery.com, and it's a nice, accessible website, and has some links on there to festivals that I'll be attending, and it also has some links of galleries that my work is where I'm represented, and also it has links to even buy online.